Alright, welcome everybody to another day of BJ Destruction League Season 3 2019. I'm very excited to tell you today that we're going to be having two of the greatest teams in the team pool of this season of Team Destruction League. So first of all, we have Team Maru. Team Maru, of course, running very strong, as you can see in this um, table over here. Team Maru, aka Jinner Yo, is leading, has gained 3 wins and only lost 1 game overall in this group stage. And for Team Su, aka Busan Guys 2, they also did win 3 games and lost only 1. So it's going to be actually very interesting to see who's going to win this specific match. I think it can go anyway. But anyways, let's take a look at this format over here. So as you can see, we're currently in the group stages, and after this group stage, there's going to be playoffs and then the finals, of course. Um, so it's going to be actually very interesting. And to start, today is the last day of the group stage, so it's day 8, and tomorrow it's going to be semi-playoff. So that's where all the best teams will come together and start playing. Um, anyway, so far on both teams looking very strong. In Team Maru, we have, as you can see on this very screen, in Team Maru we have Maru, who's a Terran, Engineer Green Wings. We have Cure, also Engineer Green Wings, and Creator, who plays Protoss and also is in Engineer Green Wings. That's why it's called Team Jin Air Yo, am I right? Anyways, for the Busan Guys, aka Team Su, we have Su, of course, playing as Zerg. We have Fantasy playing as Terran, and DRG playing as Toss. Okay, so let's see the current team ranking. So the current team ranking, we have Bang Jinbang, aka Team Innovation, leading in the first, and we have Team Su following up with second place, Team Maru following up in third place, and so on. So this is basically going to decide who's going to take the second place or the third place. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see who will win. Unfortunately for Team G1 main team, and I just woke up in his team, aka Team Trap, I don't think they're going to be able to make it to playoffs. So without further ado, let's see if we can get right into it. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about the mic being turned off. Sorry. Anyways, a huge engagement is about to come in from uh, from the middle area. A scan goes down trying to clean up the tumor. Oh, here comes a massive flock of Mutalisk and Banelings. Oh no, here comes a huge Baneling run by from the right corner. Oh no, all the supplies depots are gonna get busted by the Banelings. And here comes the flood of Lynx and Banelings, and 4 worker goes down. But rest of the army does get indeed cleaned off. But Cure, accidentally using an all-army hockey, getting rid of that beautiful pre-split. But here comes another fight. Here comes another fight. Okay, I like what Cure is doing. He is just slowly cleaning up the creep and trying to gain more foothold on this high ground. But DRG just denying this by constantly doing some Ling Hydra run by. And oh no, here comes another run by. Oh no. Oh boy. Yeah, and on the frontal fight, Mutalisk and Zergling just decides to come in and destroy all those Marines and mainly, but all this worker damage from the 3rd base location. Cure is starting to bleed out here, and beautiful sense by DRG trying burrowing those Lings so that when all those units just clear out of there, those Lings are just gonna unburrow and start wreaking havoc again. Oh boy. And I just don't think there's enough Marines and Marauders and Widowmine here to defend this high ground position. Cure needs to recruit right now. Okay, but Cure does discover this little burrowed army, but oh boy. Here comes a massive push, destroying and annihilating all these Marine mines, and DRG is just expanding over and over. But here comes a nice counterattack from Cure, but this medevac is so low, and it's 11 health, 1 more shot, but barely doesn't get it. Oh, nice little pick off on the hat trick by Cure on the 6 o'clock position. DRG is not concentrating as well as Cure right now, and Cure is hitting him hard. And on the natural, there's another drop that which does get picked off, but still a lot of work, a lot of damage coming in. And Cure is buying more time to build up his late game army. And 3-3 is going to be finished for Cure right now, but 3-3 is still about minutes away. Oh no. Baneling mine. And oh no. Another huge Baneling run by here. That's going to clean up all those SCVs and probably going to take down the planetary as well. Okay, so Cure needs to do damage now. So what Cure needs to do is take this hatchery, and he should be able to hold this high ground and try to trade efficiently as possible in order to win this. But here comes a massive flank coming in from DRG, and oh no, all these Marines, Marauders, Explorers are getting all killed and slaughtered by Zerglings and Banelings, and it's a disaster. And Cure is forced to retreat to his 4th base location, but there's just not enough units left for Cure. And he didn't do enough worker damage at this point to really call this a good trade. I mean, he will pick up some of those Banelings, but I don't think it's going to be enough. But looking for the money Widowmine shot, and a money Widowmine shot does go in, and beautiful split coming in from Cure. And he does defend off this attack beautifully with beautiful micro. And DRG is forced to pull back. Very well played by Cure in that engagement. And he's gonna go for a counterattack immediately, giving no time for DRG to regroup. And DRG is currently gonna go for Corruptor and is going to take up to Brood Lord. But is he going to have enough time? Well, he tries to buy time with Zergling run buys. But is that enough time? Is that really enough time? We'll have to see here. Alright. Cure is gonna try rotating to the 8 o'clock position now and try to siege this up. With beautiful splits and nice focus fire, he should be able to take down the space, but huge amount of Ultralisk and Ling Bane is gonna come in. Beautiful micro, but the 6 o'clock position is being overrun by Zergling run by. Nice pickup from Cure, going to retreat for now. Oh no, but this is a lot of Ultralists that's coming in. But that's also a lot of Marauders. Here comes the fight, and these Ultralists are just melting by this nice little Marauders. And Cure holds for now. Wow, this is an exciting game, isn't it? Alright, so at this point, Cure really doesn't have a follow-up tech. He's staying on Marine Marauder Mines and Medivacs, which is a good composition. But eventually, DRG goes for Infestors, Broodlord, then that's when Cure is going to start having problems. But Cure is constantly laying down pressure, enforcing DRG to build Ultralisk and Link Bane, and delaying that Greater Spire Tech, which is really smart play coming in from Cure. And Cure is starting to tear DRG apart, taking down base by base, workers by worker. Oh, he's gonna drop at the main base, but the entire army is out of position. Oh, Ultralisk just popped out, but Corruptors. Okay, Corruptors are pretty good units at hunting down Medivacs. So nothing big to be worried about, but 8 workers went down in that engagement. And DRG cannot spare the extra larva to build workers at this moment, because he needs to build units. Because Cure is pumping out that unit production with the MMMMMM build, and he's going to start sieging the base of the 8 o'clock position. And he has a beautiful pre-split at this moment, so on the frontal engage he could easily pick this apart. But on the 2 o'clock position, there is another counter attack coming in from DRG. Oh, there's fight going on everywhere. These 2 Ultralisk and a handful of Banelings just doing so much. But in the frontal engagement, DRG cannot do anything with that beautiful split of Cure. Oh, and the fight is everywhere right now. So who's gonna come on top of this? I actually think Cure is coming on top of this nice little engage here, because the 2 Ultralisk is forced to pull back with those Liberators and Marauder and Marine reinforcements. But DRG is losing workers left and right, and cannot rebuild workers because of the lack of larva and lack of minerals and gas. And here comes another nice Widow Mine, picking up 2 workers. Oh no, here comes another one. Oh boy. 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 Oh. Okay. Whew. Okay, he did take out the Widow Mine, but lost like 5 billion Banelings. So I will say Cure is pretty stonks right now. But anyways, Cure setting up for another siege with Liberators this time. So he is much stronger against Ultralisk at this moment. There are some Corruptors to counter this Liberator, but there's just way too much Widow Mines over here. And the pre-split is so good that this Baneling cannot really do much. But DRG pulls the triggers and he goes for his last dance. He cannot lose this hatchery. Okay, Cure with a beautiful micro here, and beautiful mine shots. All the Ultralisk just melts, and beautiful snipes coming in, pew, 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 melting all those Ultralisk. And can DRG hold? I don't think so. I think Cure did it, and GG is called. Wow, what a game! What a game! Whew. Okay, so who said? Who said Zergism? If you play a Cure right there, if you play with like beautiful splits, and if you nail those perfect money mine shots, you can absolutely crush them. Although DRG had a little bit of advantage in the mid game, but Cure with the beautiful micro, beautiful splits was able to defend off like the full-on attack from DRG, and from now on he just went for a full counter attack, and he just forced out units after units, preventing DRG from creating additional workers. While that's happening, Cure also went to the 12 o'clock location, 8 o'clock location, constantly shaking the turret around, picking up workers here and there, constantly applying pressure, forcing DRG to make more units. causing allowing Cure to have more economy, eventually overwhelm Zerg with unlimited amounts of bio. Whoa, that was a beautiful game. So next game, so the next match is also going to be played by Cure against. Not really sure who he's going to go against, but I'm thinking Su right now. So I think Su needs to come out right now. Because Su is debating the best player. But anyway, I think Su's gonna come out. And he's gonna try to defeat Cure. And if that angle is created, if Su can defeat Cure, then it's going to be 1-1. And Team Su does not have to do that desperate win. But we're going to get right into match 2. And as I predicted, Su is out on World of Sleepers. So on the bottom left corner, we have Team Su representing Team Su. Anyways, on the top right corner, we have the So World of Sleepers is actually very cool. So there's 2 places you can take for the 9 o'clock position and the one and the place that's blocked by the mineral. If you take the 9 o'clock or the third base position, it's kind of hard to defend because of that weird shape. But still, I think a lot of people opt to take the third base location on those locations because you can kind of have like a safety. But anyways, Su, oh boy, he went for first. Full first without gas is really not much of a commitment. So it's not going to be anything like super ultra aggressive bait plus or anything. So it could be two. A, he's afraid of proxy rifles. B, he wants to apply some pressure to the natural. So if you go for early like this, you kind of force the Reaper to stay because it's really hard to defend with Marine follow up after the Reaper and SCP to fend off those Zergles. So it's going to be up to Shore's micro on how to react to this. Anyways, he's gonna go out. Oh, but Shore sees everything. Oh, but still he decides to send out his Reaper. But he's going to intercept it, I think. Easy. Uh-oh. What's going on? Uh-oh. Hello? I would like to apologize for that. Stop right there. Okay, anyways. Cure is going to return home. I really do apologize for the pause right there. The link is still on the 12 o'clock. Just by having those links over there is a pressure for Cure. And it kind of forces Cure to stay. But looking at the time, looking that there's no Zergling coming to his natural, and his natural is almost finished, he's just gonna send his Reaper out in. Okay, so he's going to start scouting. So with this Reaper, he's gonna what he's gonna scout is how many gas Su is producing and how many work it gives. Okay, nice little scout there. Saves the Reaper, which is very important. Okay, now this is what I was talking about. You can always send this cheeky links in, get some scout off, and if Cure is not careful, get some kill off. But thank God, Cure barely gets his Hellions out in time. Alright. Okay, so Su now takes the third base, which is kind of delayed. Okay, something is wrong. Alright, and okay, a little poke of Hellion Reaper is gonna come in right now. So far no drone kill. Oh, okay, 2 drone kills, 3. Okay, can we get a 4th one? 3 drone kills for 2 Hellions and a Reaper. I do not know about that. I think Zerg is favored in that profit in that exchange over there, because two Hellions and Reaper is rather it's a pretty solid commitment. But losing those were really not that good. But here comes of another wave of Hellions. And then try doing some damage. When he sends this amount of Hellions, he needs to do damage, or at least keep the Zerglings at home. That's the purpose of this. Either to keep the Zerglings at home, or trying to do a lot of damage. And also, Cure has showed 8 Hellions, so Su might be thinking that this is going to be mech. Because building 8 Hellions is usual. It's not that common if you're going Bioplay. But here comes the Hellions. 6 drones goes down right away, and a beautiful scratch. Oh no, 10 Hellion goes down. But Cure looking to get more. 12 Hellions so far. And also pulled back all those drones on that side as well. That is stonks. What Cure did right there is stonks. Not only he had a lot of mineral denial, mining denial, he also picked up 14 minerals. So although in the resource lost, Cure is slightly behind, and overall net profit, Cure is ahead. And Su tries to do some counter damage with all those links, but beautiful macro and some beautiful micro by Cure was able to pull those links back. Okay, so now it's full on macro battle. A triple is now ready for Cure, and he's going to land up pretty darn soon. And I think Cure is looking forward to get a nice little 1-1 with combat shield time. And interestingly, Cure is keep on building Hellions. Wow, that is very abnormal, but I like that choice because it keeps not only that Cure can have a nice little bio army, that Hellion can really do some major impact to those Zerglings and Banelings. And if he really wants, he can send those to the mineral lines and do more worker damage. I really like that. And also, Cure's gonna take this rich gas on this third base location, so he's going to be in a pretty solid position actually. And also, he's 1-1 timing is much faster than Su. So okay, so here comes the 1-1 combat shield attack. So it's a lot of things are invested here. So we're going to see this Hellions turn into Hellbats, and then we're going to see a nice little battle. Oh, but here comes a lot of minions. Oh, 8, no, 11 workers gonna go down. So Cure needs to do some damage here. Okay, here comes a lot of bios and Hellbats. And Hellbats soaking up so much Baneling damage. But and a little bit of lag and nice little micro coming in from Cure. Takes out a lot of Banelings and takes out quite a bit of Zerglings. So Cure is doing really good. And also he's forcing out a lot of units as well. And as you can see, Cure has a huge worker lead. And if he keeps on this pressure and keeps on forcing out Su units, then Su cannot have enough larva to build more workers to catch up to this economy. Oh, but he just built. Okay, here comes another. Okay, so Cure decides to pull back for now because there's a lot of worker coming in. Okay, I apologize. I accidentally saw the army supply compared to the worker supply. But okay, so Su is actually perfectly fine. Su is doing really good because he has 3 base saturation amount of workers, and all he needs to do is pump out units. So okay, so Su's fine. But all these Mutalisks gonna get picked off. Okay. Nice reaction from Su. Keeping those Mutalisks alive. It's very important to keep those Mutalisks alive because that keeps the pressure on for the turn. It keeps the Terran honest. Cure still stuck on the 5 barracks production, and it's going to increase to 2 factories, so he can really pump those Widow Mines out. Oh, but here comes a beautiful engage coming in from Su. Okay. So for now, Cure's aggression has stopped for me, and he is trying to regroup. But Su is just building so much stuff. I mean, he has his workers all optimized. He has now 79 drones, which is a very optimal amount. So all you gotta do is just press the gas pedal and build units, 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 which is very, very nice for Su right now. So what Cure has to do is start looking into expanding, which I think he's doing at the 12 o'clock position, which is very nice. And he needs to start doing some worker damage, or Su is actually going to overwhelm Cure with stuff. And Zerg stuff, and when in Zerg overwhelming with stuff is the scariest thing that you can have. And as you can see, the production tab right now, Su is moving up to Hive Tech, and guess what's at Hive Tech? That's right, Infestors, Broodlords, Ultralisk, all those scary units. So Cure is trying to do some damage, but Su being so active on the map, keeping Cure at home. Um, and 2-2 is finished for Su, and 3-3 is just now started. So if Su just starts 3-3 as soon as the high finishes, it could be okay. But okay, here comes another huge block of Mutalisk. He does see that Widowmine, picks it off. Okay, now swords are out for sure, but think I think we're going to see a huge attack coming in from Su. And since Cure is defending right now, he should be quite good. But creep spread from Su is just great, and Su pulls the trigger, and beautiful spread, and beautiful Widowmine connection coming in from Cure, reducing that Su's army by quite a bit. Okay, here comes another push. Some good connection for the Widowmine, and beautiful splits coming in from Cure. Denies that just a little bit, but still, some of the Spain link connection is really nice, and a lot of bio just gets nibbled down from Cure. Okay, and Su decides to rotate around and tries to outmaneuver Cure here, but of course Cure has the quote-unquote legal map hack called the Sensor Tower, so he gets to see everything Su is doing. Okay, here is the flock of Mutalisks trying to split up the army and tries to distract this Terran army from getting a nice position. And okay, Su, it does he pull the trigger? Okay, he does pull the trigger, but a lot of Banelings were inefficiently traded with the Widowmines. And Cure decides to split off, and he's now feeling comfortable. He's now splitting off some portion of his army, trying to do some worker damage, and he is going to do exactly what he did to DRG. So he's going to start dropping all over the place. But here is a nice little flank coming in from Su, and beautiful pickup from Cure. Oh no, but nice little drops of the source, but huge amount of Banelings. Zerglings are just gonna crash down into Cure's army, going to just destroy everything. And look at the supply. Su just rebuilt everything, and he is now doing so much damage to Cure's economy and his army. Su did indeed lose some workers on the 12 o'clock position, but that is nothing compared to the damage Cure is receiving right now. Cure is losing supplies left and right, and Su is just wreaking havoc to this 4th base location, and he can just transition right up to the 5th base location and do more damage there. But Su decides to calm down, and he rebuilds all the worker, and he's rebuilding all those units, and he's going to actually build Ultralisk. So, and I really like the choice of the Ultralisk right here, because Cure is not going to have enough units such as Marauders to deny those ultras. So just sending in those ultras and just overwhelming Cure with stuff is going to end this. So Cure desperately moving across the map, trying to do some damage, but there's a lot of lanes. And there's a lot of Mutalisk ultras, and there's just so much stuff. But nice little pullback from Cure, and without Banelings, Su cannot engage this really. Okay, so Su is just expanding looking for an angle that he can come in to destroy this opponent's army. Okay, a flock of Mutalisks rotating around. Okay, a flock of Mutalisks is trying to do some economic damage to the 12 o'clock position, but nicely placed a missile turret just denying that assault. Okay, here comes another attack from Su. So what Su needs to do is not overextend like how DRG did last game, because as soon as he overextends, Cure is gonna go for a huge counterattack, but a huge push coming in from Su. But nice little splits and nice little target fire from Cure is gonna destroy all those Ultralisks and just going to just kill off all those Banelings. And such a nice hold coming in from Cure. Only loses 11 workers in that exchange. For Cure, it was a good hold, but Su, he needs to start trading efficiently. I know that he has like thousands of hatcheries with billions of workers just pumping out the beautiful Zerg economy. But if Su continues to trade inefficiently like this, Cure's gonna come back like the first game. Okay, now Cure is gonna go for a counterattack, and the supply looks pretty darn even, and with some beautiful splits like how he showed us just a few seconds ago, and beautiful focus fire on those Ultralisks, he should be able to take this actually. Okay, here comes the creep cleaning squad. He's going to start cleaning a little bit of creep, and he's just gonna back up for now because those creep are going to be a huge changing factors. Even the best micro player cannot split and creep because the Zergs are super fast on creep. So just gonna back off and be like, okay, I'm gonna come kill you later. But for now, just attack on my bases. Come run into my Widowmine. I'll just split and kill all your army. So Cure is actually doing very well. But one concern I have is the economy of Su. Su's economy is getting out of control. Cure needs to send out 1 or 2 medevacs, try to do some damage to Su's economy right now because he can defend really well for probably few more times, but eventually he's gonna run out of mineral. Eventually he's gonna run out of gas. So he needs to do some economic damage. But here comes another push from Su. So what Su is doing is he's just trying to send in some units, make Cure bleed out units one by one, make sure that Cure can use a Ballis Bank, and eventually Su is gonna win the war by just expanding like a madman and getting all the juicy minerals and gas. So Cure does indeed send out some units now, but now I like what Cure is doing. So he's building ghosts, and he's now probably gonna move into a Liberator tech soon as well. I like what Cure is doing in terms of unit composition, but I do not like the situation on this gas right now. If you look at the gas bank right now, and if you look at the balance of the minerals and the gas, Cure is starving gas right now. He needs gas right now, or he's not going to be able to transition into the late game tech. Okay, so Cure is finally trying to expand, but as we saw, as the cameraman showed us just a few moments ago, Su is building a Nidus network. I really like this because if he just Nidus Ultras on the main or any other place, it's gonna be good. Okay, but here comes another frontal attack coming in from Su, but beautiful SimCity is going to deny this attack very well. So Cure needs to keep on having this kind of fight. But he needs to have this fight like 7 times, or he's not going to be able to catch up in terms of economy. That's why this base is going to be very important, and Su is gonna come in like a Darude Sandstorm and just going to delete this base right now, and he's gonna get a nice network on the natural as well, and diverting all the attention of Terran. Oh, but beautiful splits coming in from Cure, and all those Marauders soak up all this Baneling damage, and all this Baneling just used up on those Marauders. But nice little Zergling Nidus coming in, destroying everything on the natural base. Spaghetti-o, and more Nidus is going down, and all this Um, all these Terra units are panicking and moving across the map, trying to force all the Zerg units to come to the home to defend, but there's just too much Zerg units, and because of the supply block, Sure cannot really build more units to balance out the supply as well, so he needs to play very efficiently. Okay, but here comes Su's beautiful army. Oh, but nice little snipes going down. But still, a lot of stuff just coming out of this Nidus. And there just cannot be any more reinforcements for Cure now. He needs to start killing stuff. Okay, Su pulls the triggers, and he is going in. But nice little Widowmine connection, and beautiful splits coming in. Oh, can we split it? Can we split it? Oh, no! Beautiful Baneling connection goes down, and a lot of Cure's army is just deleted. And the supply tells the story. Supply tells the story very well right here. 162 supply against 116 supply, and Su has $1 billion, billion minerals and billion gas of supply, of reserve and minerals and gas. All he needs is extra larva, which is perfectly fine. But this is just too much advantage for Su right now, and he is even taking the 4 o'clock position and that's supposed to be Terran's base. So Su going all ham on that econ gas, and it's just going to keep growing and infest the Terran for good, and just Nidus just keep on just popping out here and there. It's just popping out everywhere. Okay, now Cure is gonna try securing that base once again, but Su is pointing for another attack. He's just gonna come right in there, I think. And even if he defends this like perfectly, the game is not over. Okay, but here comes another attack from Su. The Corruptor is dealing with the Liberators and the Baneling Link, and the Ultralisk is just gonna come in and wipe the floor. And oh no, there's just Zergling Wing everywhere. And Cure just trying to regroup, just trying to hold on to this attack, but I think there's just too many Zergs. It's just too many Zergs. And the GG is gone. What a game. What a game. Wow. That was absolutely crazy. So, what we see here is a nice little best of three, best of five. So we still have a minimum of 3 more games coming. So, um, Su, just beautifully clean. So I'm thinking maybe Maru might come out. Am I right? So I think Maru's gonna come out, try to defeat Su, and then after that I think he's going to go against Fantasy and try to end it there. Either that or Creator might come out as well, because Creator is perfectly capable of defeating Su as well. So I think it's going to be very interesting on who comes out now. Um, but overall, of the basic analysis of the last game, I think the lack of Cure's pressure really hurt him there. But I'm not saying that Cure was able to pressure either. Su did a really good job at containing Cure on his side of the map, and while that was happening, Su did a great job at spreading all those creeps, denying any drops because of that vision as well. Okay, but without further ado, let's get right into game 3. And Maru comes out, and an SCV is going across the map. Ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be a proxy. Is it a Maru's game if there's no proxy? Am I right? Am I right, chat? So it's going to be very interesting. He's gonna go to the 12 o'clock position, I think, or is he not? Okay. Oh boy. Oh Su, you cheeky boy. He's gonna see it right away. Oh boy, he's gonna see it right away. And Su is gonna pull back the Overlord, so Maru's gonna have no clue about the fact that he's spotted. And drones are gonna be pulled immediately, completely denying this proxy. Okay, so what Mario is trying to do is at least trying to finish one barracks, and I like the fact that he's not canceling the second barracks, so that the SCV can stay right there, and then the drones will not be able to reach him. But oh no 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 no! No, the SCV is gonna go down. Uh I think that is GG. Uh-oh. This is very not good. Because the barracks is delayed, everything's delayed for Mario. His tech is gonna be delayed. Um, everything's gonna be delayed. So what Mario's gonna do is just gonna go for a CC, early CC. Um, so Mario knows. Oh, he actually finishes the barracks. What in the world? And ladies and gentlemen, that is what you call Mario's control. Okay, but anyways, the barracks does indeed finish. And he's gonna get a Reaper out, which will keep the Zerglings on the other side of the map instead of on Mara's side. But Sue, completing the Zerglings very early on, is going to just send it across the map. Okay, I see what's up. I see what's up, Sue. You want to end this game right here and now. But a wall does go down with that factory. And Sue is actually going to go for a 2-base Roach play, which is actually a really good call considering the fact that the tech is very slow from uh, Smaru over here. And he's gonna start knocking on the door, deny this natural, deny this factory from finishing. It's a disaster. And the Maru's Reaper cannot really do much because of that queen. So he decides to come home, try to clean up the Zergling, because those Zergling does not have speed for now. But still, okay. So a bunker's gonna go down. So Maru does know that it's going to be a roach push. So he's gonna try his best to build as much unit as possible. And beautiful micro, saving that 1 health SCV. So overall, Maru is reacting very well. It's as if he played this scenario for like thousands of times. Um, but I'm worried for him because just all of it's late and there's already roaches going across the map. And look at the production tab. Sue is not all in on this. Sue is building drones behind this. So he's gonna take a third, and with this roach push, he's gonna delay the natural of Terran for a long time, for an extended period of time, and he's just gonna go home and macro out of it. So just by building roaches and just sending across the map is a huge profit for Sue right now. But we're talking about Maru here. And Maru is an absolute god. So what Maru can do is, even when he's behind, he's gonna come back one way or the other. Okay, and he is not lifting the CC just yet. Okay, he just does it now. Cross the power, just gonna connect barely. A cyclone's gonna come out, and this push is probably gonna end right here, but without delaying this natural up more. Okay, but okay, here, look at the prediction tab. You see that? That's a fusion core. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see the happy ship. That's right. Mars gonna go for the happy ship right now. And in case you guys don't know what happy ship is what you refer to as Battle Cruiser, because it's happy to use it. But happy ship's gonna come out, and it's gonna be very good. It's very very good, especially with this roach-based army. Sue would have to rely on queens and spore crawlers to deny the happy ship. But still, there's a little bit of time before the happy ship pops up. So Sue is okay 4 now, and he's sending in an Overlord, but Overlord does get picked off. So Sue is kept in the dark, and he's gonna go for some safety spore crawlers, probably to deny the cloak banshee. But one spore crawler is definitely not enough to defend a happy ship. He is going to build more queens, but is there going to be enough queen by the time the happy ship comes out? That is the question. Okay, third CC going down for Mar. Now this is why Mar is one of the best. So Mar, when he exactly knows when to expand, even when he's behind, he takes a lot of risk to trying to come back, and seeing that Sue is gonna go for a full macro behind that, because he saw that there's going there was lack of roaches, additional roaches. So he just decides to build another CC, and just decides to go for a fast third, and try to catch up economically, which is a very smart move. And I like the fact that he's gonna go for Yamato for those happy ships as well, because it's going to be able to clean up those queens pretty nicely. And Yamato's value goes up as long as you can save those battle cruisers as well. Okay, so the first battle cruiser is out. He is going to TP right over, and he's gonna start doing some economic damage. Okay, so 2 workers go down. 3 workers, not bad, not bad. As long as he can save that battle cruiser, it's still not bad. It's still not bad. Okay, and he's gonna do more damage over here. The Spore Crawler is out of position on this area, so he can do more damage. You have 4 workers, 5. Okay, 5 workers so far. Okay, not bad, not bad. He's continuously building. He's continuously building happy ship. Okay, okay, but he cannot take more damage here. Spaghetti-O! And he barely gets that. Of course, it's Bar. He can save anything, right? Okay, so that happy ship is probably gonna come back home, do some repairs, and reload, and get on out of there. Just cute little cross and files trying to snipe that battlecruiser down, but we're talking about Mara here. And Spire is gonna be completed by Su very soon, and he's gonna be able to build those corruptors, which basically kill battlecruiser very quickly. So this age of battlecruiser is about to. Oh, okay. Whew. Whew. Barely saves that battlecruiser. If he lost that battlecruiser, everything will go south. Okay, but behind this is going to be mech follow-up. I absolutely love this. Remember the time in Chinese Team League when I think Maru was going against Rex? No, not Rex. One of the Chinese players. But he was behind, like, by a lot. But by using Battle Mech and by showing Battle Mech and Battle Cruiser's power, he was able to come back an absolutely losing game. So Maru is an absolute monster, so he could win this, actually. But Corruptors are coming out, and Yamato's going to be used and tries to focus down one of the Corruptors with a basic attack. But of course, Corruptors, they do additional damage to massive units like Battle Cruiser. So Corruptors are going to do really well against those Battle Cruisers. So what Maru needs to do is save those Battle Cruisers, let the Battle Cruiser count goes up, and just gotta use all this Yamato on those Corruptors. Okay, now these Corruptors are coming down, trying to hunt down the Battlecruiser, but Cyclone's locked down those Corruptors, and the scan is used, and the Corruptor goes! Okay, one of them goes down, and one of them is saved. So, okay. So it's not terrible for Sweet, and not terrible for Mon. So everything's starting to equalize here. And an accidental cross and file. Okay, I'll take that. And Su is gonna go for a rather early hive. Gonna rush straight to the hive, and is probably gonna rush the Greater Spire. And is probably gonna go for Infestor Broodlord style. And against Cyclone Hellion, and especially Siege Tank, Broodlords could be really good counter. But before that scary army could be built, Maru's gonna pull the trigger. He's gonna move across the map, trying to do some damage, trying to do some economical damage before Su can get that beautiful late game Zerg army. I would like to apologize for the little lag here and there. Usually doesn't happen, but for some reason today it's just happening just a little bit. Okay, anyways, Maru just trades a little, cleans up little creep, kills a few roaches and ravagers here and there, and decides to back off. So what this does is, and also he just killed some of the corruptors, right? So what this does is it's slowing Su down from maxing out. If Su maxes out, and if Su can get that Greater Spire within like 30 seconds right now, and if he gets the Broodlord and starts sieging Maru's base, even though he's building Swords right now, with enough Corruptors and enough Broodlords and Infestors, there's going to be no answer for Maru. So Maru is playing this very carefully, very smartly as well. Just sending little squads of Battlecruiser, just gonna use those Yamato and back off. and start getting those value off of those battle cruisers one by one. And the beauty of the battle mech is that you can do a little bit of run by here and there and start picking off bases. But Su, also an absolute monster, is on top of it. His defense is just perfect, and he's controlling the watchtowers well now, and he's just taking control of the game like how he did against Cure. But again, we're talking about Maru here, right? So what can Maru do? Let's go over what can Maru do. So Maru can just expand, and he needs to start doing some pokey damage before that Broodlord could finish. And when the army split up like this, he needs to start poking down some of that army. And also, he needs to send some Hellions or Cyclones around and try to pick off a base or two. Okay, but Su is so good. Like, oh my gosh, he is like being aggressive with his roaches and Ravengers, and forcing Maru not to take space, and he's like slowing him down. But Maru, he just decides to double expand. Am I right? Like, okay, so if you're gonna send your army to trying to deny this base, I'm just gonna expand on the other side as well, and I'll have additional 2 bases. And also at the same time, he's gonna go attack. I really, really like this. So by attacking, he's not only going to secure his additional bases, he's going to be able to deny the space. All the siege tank destroying those Ravengers like it's dust, and he has a foothold in this north position over here. And Broodlords, of course, are slow units, and it takes millions of years to get here. And the siege has begun, but Broodlords are here now. And beautiful counter push with the Battlecruiser. There are billions of Spore Crawlers over here, but of course Battlecruiser has high DPS, and all he gotta do is use the Yamato and get the heck out of there, and he has made value. That's profit over there. That stonks. That's the beauty of Battlecruiser. You can just Yamato and TP back whenever you want, and as long as that continues, as long as the Terran uses the Battlecruiser to lower that corruptor count and to lower those, and tries to harass and get those Broodlords and corruptors out of position. The larger window of opportunity opens up for this mech army to push in specific position. As you can see, because he lost all those Ravengers and Roaches to the siege tank, now these Thors can shine against those Broodlords. And okay, and see now. But the problem here is that the Battlecruisers are out of cooldown, out of ability. They're all on cooldown, so they cannot really keep you back. And more Broodlord is being built, and so it's just expanding. Although Su has a greater brain, Maru, there's a variable called Maru's control, and Maru's micro, and Maru's macro. So we can never really see who's really ahead right now. But Maru, with the superior amount of base count and with the superior army value, he could take this fight really. But again, investors are pretty good, so we'll see what's going to happen very soon. Okay, a single Cyclone's confirming that the 12 base location is not taken. A scan goes down. Confirms that the double rich gas base has been taken, and a Broodlord Investor Corruptor army going to come down to the 7 o'clock location. Gonna start wreaking havoc on this planetary. Okay, a planetary is cancelled, and the corruptors are probably gonna come down and start cleaning this up. But on the 12 o'clock location, that's the army comp I'm talking about. Thor all day long. That Thor is an absolute monster. If you focus down the Thors on the Broodlords don't stand a chance. You just get melted down like a hot knife on butter. But this is a large Broodlord count, and with Investor, with some Neural Parasite, the Thors are just gonna turn on themselves. So it's just going to be all coming down to the battle now. It's going to be about the micro, about how you use your army, how you choose to use your army. And the siege of 6 o'clock mission has begun. Spore Crawlers going down, denying any and all air units countering the Lord. But as a counterattack, Mara is gonna go in, take down third base location of Su. He's going to start taking profits left and right here. And Su's gonna start bleeding out bases. So Mara's like, okay, if you're gonna take my base, I'm gonna go and take your base as well. And guess what? I have more bases than you. So what Mara's doing is actually super, super, super smart here. And all those Broodlords are out of position, and they take 5 billion years to get to the other side of the map. So these Swords tanks are just deleting Su right now. Okay, and here come the Broodlords from all the way across the map. Very smooth. Wow. Just flying like big old Brenda. Okay, but here comes Broodlords. Without investor support, it's not that good. But they're siege tanks. And guess what? And guess what counters investors? Yep, you guessed it. Siege tanks. So it's actually going to be very good for um Maru here. And this two little hit squad of Thors pulling back all the army for Zerg right now. Su needs to split his army up, or he is just gonna get shaken like this left and right. Okay, and Maru is so good that he's not going to overextend into the natural base. He's not like any other player. He thinks logically. He doesn't think with his heart. He thinks with his mind, with his brain. And he's not gonna overextend here. And sending all these harass left and right. Okay, but here is the big battle. So he needs to take out those Broodlords, or he is going to get behind again. But those Broodlords are just focusing down the Thor. Oh no, and all the Thors are going down. But a lot of worker damage coming in from Su. But Maru just does not have enough minerals to replenish his army. And the Spadicers are doing so much work, but Maru doesn't have anything to counter these stuff. Maru doesn't have more stuff. Oh no! And Maru's going to start losing these bases that he got earlier using the advantage, but he is losing stuff left and right. He loses his battle cruiser. But he's gonna go for Liberators now. A build that was shown by Keen against Dark in the group stages of PSL. But still, I don't think he has enough here. He doesn't have enough main. Okay, but the scary thing is that he has a lot of pieces, right? So what he can do is just he needs to hold on, and he needs to go out as soon as he's maxed up, and then he can win this. The thing about Mars arm, the Su's army is that he's very slow, and he cannot really secure bases because of the lack of mobility. So Mars just needs to abuse that and just shake Su around all over the place and take the economic advantage. Okay, and here comes the siege of big ol' Broodlord. Takes out the planter like it's nothing. Oh, but I like the positioning of Maru. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna take this high ground right here, and he's gonna deny the space, which is very important for Su right now. And with his heli, he's gonna clean up all those movements. And with this Liberator, he's gonna zone out all of those infestors. He's just gonna slow push. And I don't think Su has the army composition to deny this. Okay, and Su pulls the trigger. He does some beautiful blinding clouds going down, and the huge amount of infested Terrans gonna go down, and a huge fight goes down. A lot of Thors trying to focus down the Broodlords, but I think that's just too many Zerg here. Broodlord's just gonna focus down all those Thors and all these infestors just neuroling all those Thors, and it's a disaster. A lot of things goes down for Maru. But here's the thing. As I said earlier, Maru has all the bases, right? So since Maru has all the bases, he can rebuild all the stuff. So what Su is doing is he's going right now. He's pulling the trigger. He needs to delete those bases, and he needs to get to Terran's infrastructure ASAP. And then he needs to delete the production capability for Maru in order to secure this thing at the way. And Maru, what he needs to do is keep on doing what he's doing. Secure his bases. Just keep on building Liberator Thors and force the suit and force the Zerg to attack into your position. And that way he can trade as efficiently as possible. And in this case of just taking bases and trying to hold on to dear life, um, Maru needs to be able to trade efficiently at this point. And he scans very well, sees that this huge army is going to come in and pulls back his season. And nice little cheeky Liberator trying to pick up the Spirit Lords, but nice reaction by Su. Okay, now Maru's keep on denying the space, and if this continues, then Su's not gonna stand a chance. And oh, but here comes a huge commitment of forces by Su, and and Maru caught in a very awkward position in the ramp over there. But still, Maru sends out two Thors across the map on the other side, doing some harass damage. And I think Su's starting to crumble by a lot. Maru is just so good, sending those Thors to the other side, picking up all of those Vipers, and, and I don't know. So you just cannot spend money anymore because he doesn't have hatcheries to build, to produce larvae to build stuff. I think Maru, all he needs is one more good fight and he wins. And Su, he needs to win like 2 to 3 more good fights. Okay, so here comes the big Maru army. Again, from that rich gas base. He's trying to be more careful this time because last time he took a very inefficient trade at that weird ramp. But still, okay, Su does not see that there's going to be base there. Like Su is not aware of the fact that Maru just took over the entire map. Like that's the beauty of Maru right there. Maru just expands until like the whole world is his. Maru is a very greedy guy, and greed is pretty good in StarCraft. Minerals are pretty good. Okay, and as you can see by the bank and the supply, Maru just turned this game around. He just took down so many bases of Zerg, and he secured so many bases of his own that he's in a very good position. And he's splitting off his army as well because he has Raven now. He can use the Cheeto Dust on the Zerg army, and he can get so much value, especially with the Thor and the Liberators. It makes me question if the buff was even a good thing to do. But anyways, here comes the Thor army on the natural, and now what Maru is doing is he's securing this route between Zerg's mining base and the Zerg's tech base, and he's gonna sandwich from both sides. And Broodlord, Corruptor, and Infestor is a very tricky army to split up, especially against a mech army like this, because if you split up incorrectly, you're not gonna have enough stuff to destroy one of the army. And if you split up, and if you commit to one army a bit too much, then you're going to lose the other side of the map. So Maru, he's tearing Su apart literally right now. And he takes the space once again, and he's now going to secure the natural base, and he's gonna take down the Great Aspire, and it's gonna be bye-bye for those Broodlords now, and takes down the Spire as well. So Norma Corruptors or Broodlords gonna come in, and although these units are trapped here, there's no more actual mining base for Su. It's all mining out. And as you can see by the bank, he can afford to lose that because he's mining more. He has way more bank, but he cannot afford to lose this army. If he loses this army, then it's going to be quite tricky to come back. But the supply has enough. Like Maru has enough. He has enough mining base. He has enough infrastructure. There's really not much Su can do at this moment except for trying to reclaim some of those bases. But okay, and guess what? Neuroparasite has ended. And he's just gonna come in, destroy the spawning pool, destroy the hive. Oh my god. It's so good. Oh no, and the Infested Terran dies just before it can get to the floor. And when that spawning pool dies, you know what's up. If that spawning pool dies, there's not going to be any more queens. And guess what's going to happen if you don't have any more queens? No more larva. If you have no more larva, you can't spend money. So very, very good play coming from Mark and a huge Cheeto that goes down on the Broodlord. Oh no, if those Liberators catch up onto those Broodlords and just melts those Broodlords, then there's no answer for these floors anymore. Okay, so nice little Roach run by Spinner coming here. Trying to clean up some SCVs. But there's a huge amount of Liberators. Mario just trying to finish this game, but Sue holding on very nicely. And as long as he can, and he's just trying to secure extra bases as well. But just Mario's just denying the bases so well. Now, okay, Sue's now going to barely secure the 7 o'clock position, but God, look at 12 o'clock position. Mario's gonna send a huge army of Hellions, and he's gonna start doing some worker damage. And at this point of the game, you cannot afford to lose that much worker. I'm assuming that those Hellions can kill like 20 workers. You can afford to lose that because you can use the larva units. Okay, but anyways, Sue is going to build lower tier units, more mobile lower tier units, and try to reclaim some bases. But this is where Mario pulls the trigger. So he's going to transform all those Hellions into Hellbacks, and is going to deny all those Broodlings, and he's just gonna start pushing. And he's just gonna start killing everything now. He has a very good efficient army, and especially with those Liberators, I don't see an angle of attack for Sue. And also, Sue just lost his Infestor kit, so there's going to be no more Infestors anymore. So there's going to be normal answer for those Liberators, and that base has been transformed into Planetary. And with that Liberator, that base is no longer going to mine. And Mario suddenly in the angle of ending this game, and he's gonna keep on slow pushing onto this Liberator. And there's so many Liberator, and those Infestor Terrors cannot really do much. And the Thor's doing so much damage to these air units, and this Hellion just melting all these Broodlings, and there's just no answer for Sue, and he's just plummeting in supply. And Mario, with that infinite amount of bank, just holding on. But Neuroparasite coming in, gonna take down all the Thors. A good fight coming in for Sue, but at what cost? Like, for real, but at what cost? He only has 15 workers. And keep in mind, Zerg does not have mules. And Terran has 33 workers, but Terran has mules. Okay, but Zerg doesn't have mules. Only has 33. Only has 15 workers. Only has 3 hatcheries to build units. There's really not much stuff that's gonna come out. It's only the only stuff he has, and only stuff he can maintain is low tier units such as roaches, and the high tech units that he currently has, that he had from the beginning, such as the Broodlords and the Infestors. So he needs to look at an angle, and try to do some damage at least. But he's not getting any more gas anymore because there's just no more gas mining bases. And Mario is just going to rebuild all this, and he's going to remax, rinse and repeat what he's doing. And because of the lack of Infestors now, he's gonna move into Vikings as well. Alright, and here comes the battle mech. And this battle mech is going to look into taking down some of those key structures. And look at Sue's production tab now. He's down to some basic units such as Zergon. Okay, some nice little pickups over there. But the real fight is gonna be here. He needs to be able to take down all of this army, and then he will be able to have a chance. Probably, like possibly, like he will maybe have a chance, even if he destroys all the army. Like A, he needs to destroy this base. B, he needs to destroy all this army. Like, yes, the supplies are pretty darn even, but you need to keep in mind that there's just way more mining bases for Mario over here. So Sue practically only has 2 mining bases, and Mario currently has 3 operational bases. So overall, Maru can build more stuff. And guess what? A simple formula in StarCraft is more stuff beats less stuff. What a surprise! So Maru is actually controlling this game very well. Now, Su is going to use the tactic that Maru used against Su earlier. So now, because Su has lower tier units like Roach Ravager, he can use the mobility to deny Maru space. So by using Maru's tactic, Su can slowly crawl back into the game. But in a frontal engagement, Su might not stand even a chance. Okay, now huge push coming in from the Zerg. And he's gonna take that area down, but here comes the Terran army. And he's gonna start walking up this way. And especially now that he has Siege Tank, he can really clean up and secure this position pretty darn well, especially against those Roaches and Ravagers. And Vikings, really good against Corruptors, killing a lot of those, reducing those Corruptor counts, making sure those Liberators can have more value. And Su pulls the trigger, tries for the last ditch effort, but this Infestor is being targeted down by the Liberators and the Siege Tank, and there's just not enough Nero to kill all the Spores. All the Brutals goes down, and a GG is called, and Maru takes the series for good. Wow, what a beautiful game. What a beautiful game. So very well played for Maru over there. So next is going to be a TVT Maru versus Fantasy, and we're going to see quite a bit of an interesting map here. I'm really looking forward to see. But just for a little bit, we're going to have a nice 1 second break, and I'm going to come back right away. So don't go anywhere, okay? Just don't go anywhere. I'm gonna come back in literally 5 seconds. Sorry about that little wait. Okay, we're back, and the next map is going to be uh unknown for now, but we know for a fact it's going to be Maru against Fantasy. And guess what? And guess what? Fantasy is super good, especially TBT. So Maru needs to be warning right now because Fantasy is absolutely awesome at TBT. Um, but the problem here is that Maru is an absolute god. There's no denying about that. So Maru was behind that game, the entire game, right? But what he did is that he literally just came back, because he built additional bases and he kept harassing the crap out of Su, so he was able to come back very well. So next game is going to be the final match, potentially the final match for Team Su. So Fantasy must defeat the big wall called Maru. But guess what? Remember Fantasy. Hello Katowice. I will win. Fantasy is a champion material. He's actually really good. So I'm really looking forward to this. So I think we're going to see a game very soon. So we're going to have a short little I don't know when the game is gonna start. So let's just take a look right now. Okay, so it seems like the game is not starting just yet, but I think they're just getting ready. But let's just talk about Maru here. So Maru actually didn't really show much strength in against Dark, because after all, Dark is the best player right? But Maru's TVZ is absolutely on point, especially his battle, and it shows how battle mech could be utilized, especially only with even without Cyclone and Helix, even with Force combined in Liberty. So it's absolutely. Anyways, let's go to game 4 of the series. On the top left corner, we have the Red Terran Fantasy. And on the bottom right corner, not proxying this time, it's going to be the Blue Terran Maru. This has been an awesome series so far, so I'm absolutely loving it. A standard React refinery gonna go down for Maru over here. Mm, okay, so basically the same build for each of them, except Mars gonna go for a safer against siege tank barracks position, while Fantasy is going for the anti-Hellion wall barracks position. So those are the little two differences. Alright, and a scout is gonna come down for Fantasy, but no scout, I believe, is gonna go down for Maru. So it's as if Maru already knows that. Maru already knows that Fantasy is gonna go for Reaper Extend, which is good. Oh, actually, never mind. Maru's actually gonna send a scout as well. It's just that Fantasy sent an earlier scout because he wants to check out if there's going to be any uh, proxy Reaper. Okay, so let's see. Let's take a look over here. Yeah. So normal expansion timing, normal Reaper timing, everything is mirrored except for what? The factory timing. So Fantasy went for the standard Reaper expand, right? Maru went for the double gas into factory expand, probably. So that's the only difference over here. Factory expand versus a Reaper expand. So Maru's gonna have that earlier push potential over here, compared to Fantasy, who hasn't been on. Okay, so I really like this. This is my favorite part about PvP. So you pull a worker so that the Reaper will be aggro to the worker instead of the Reaper. And in this case, Maru got out maestroed by Fantasy, and this is what I thought. Fantasy is definitely a thing to be done. He's a really good player. And I'm really looking forward to it. And then he is gonna build Hellions actually. And I really like this, especially because Maru has a lack of a full wall on his rim. So those Hellions can just run up. A nice little, and this in Factory Expand, really coming into play. He was able to deny all mining and natural enemies. In addition to that, he stuffed everything that he could. So he can react to this accordingly. He's building Marauder. He's building Cyclone, which is really nice. But I'm really curious about this push coming from Fantasy, taking more of a PvZ approach of Marauder Hellion, and I think especially with the Medivac as well, I think it's going to be a very solid push. The Marauders are going to be able to hunt down any Cyclones that's trying to kill the um, Hellion. So this Hellion is going to be able to mow down any bio unit that's going to be formed. And especially with this lack of units for now, if Mars has to push, if Mars has to pull the boys, then that's going to be a little bit of petrol for Mars. But anyway, moving across the map, trying to do some work now. Concussive Shell is just about to finish. Maru, I really like his choice. Using Concussive Shell, trying to delay, and trying to delay as long as possible. Okay, here comes the alien. So, oh, and a nice little pull from Maru. Okay, but a nice lock on going down, and the Marauders are getting picked up, and the medevac goes down. And okay, 4 worker goes down, but 2 Marauders, a medevac, and all these, and 1 Hellion goes down. Only 4, 5 workers. A beautiful hold by Maru here, just baiting that Hellion and Marauder onto the Hydra with Cyclone was waiting, and now he's gonna go for a counter push with the Maxia's accelerated Cyclones, which is supposed to exactly melt like all the Hellions, and especially with the Medivac, he can just do a little bit of micro. Maybe the Snack Dive
maybe even smack down that Raven, the siege tank is now out, but of course it's tomorrow. It's gonna pick up everything. It's gonna micro everything so beautifully. It's gonna drop down here again, and the defense matrix does go down on the medevac. But these are cyclones we're talking about. Cyclones are pretty darn tanky against those alien shots. And he's now going to do some damage here, pulling back all those armies out of position. He just picks up, and it's gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna do more damage. You just gotta wait and see. And here comes more reinforcement from Mara. He's pulling all his units, his Marines, his Cyclones. He's gonna come slow down again. A nice little siege tank position, but the Raven! Oh no, the Raven goes here! And that's such a nice pickup from Mara. Picking up that Raven, obliterating his parent hard. Okay, now Mara's gonna go for the third season behind it. Now this is what I'm talking about Mara. He likes to spin. He likes to play that grind the great game. And this is what makes Mara so good. By being bigger like this, he's able to really get ahead on economically and is able to get ahead on a lot. And this Raven comes in, he's gonna put that lockdown, and all these Cyclones going to kill all these Marines. Oh no! Ah! All this Marine just casually dies, and all these Cyclones just getting so much value. The siege tank, being disabled, was not able to do anything except for getting off a single shot only. So there's no third CC follow up for fantasy. So what he needs to do is he needs to squeeze out as much unit as possible, and he needs to do some really good damage. He certainty is quite behind, so he needs to do some damage with the bio ASAP and try to buy as much time as possible. As you can see, he is sending a medevac around, trying to do some damage across the map against his worker, but Mars just keep on knocking on the door. And they're like, can we come in? Can we come in? Can I see you? Can I see you? The natural micro coming in from fantasy, denying the cycle lockdown. And this is going to be a little bit. And fantasy is actually going to move across the map, which is very nice. Um, actually, now only have five cycles and not with three at this moment. So if this drop comes in, they're going to take this, especially since Mars armor is completely out of commission. I think that Stinky, a single meta that full of Stinky Marines, is going to do a lot of damage. And here it goes. The Marine drop is happening at the same time the main force of Phantom is coming across the map. He needs to do damage now. And Phantom is already taking 8 workers and denying hell of a lot of mining time. But Mars defense is solid. He is already cleaning this up, and honestly, this is still good for Mars. Because Fantasy doesn't have a third base lane. He doesn't even have an orbital on the third base at this moment. And meanwhile, Mars has a perfect 3 base autonomy with Luna to basically defend. And also, Fantasy doesn't have any Ravens, so it's going to be very slow down, but a lot of fire coming in. And all the Marines just get pissed off. And the enemy gets defense, which does not have air superiority. It's not winning the Raven fight without scaling. So basically, Fantasy can keep on bleeding out. But I like what Fantasy says. So he's going to send out 2 empty medevacs and act like he is going to do a fire jump. Is Mario going to fall to this blow? Is he going to fall to this blow? The question is, he is pulling his a lot of his forces back, but as soon as he realizes that nothing's dropping out of this, oh no, oh no, oh no, Fantasy's so good, and he's just gonna hit the certification now, right? All the defense matrix has been used up, and a beautiful siege of turn is gonna come in by Fantasy, and this is gonna start to shine here on the certification, and Fantasy speeds up and takes this position perfectly. Now the question is, can Mara hold on to the third base position? The question, but the but Mara has the air security, and he's gonna start nibbling down on the defense using the Raven, and it's gonna force the unit dead. And using the Viper here completely denies the Lebanon stuff as well. Very nice. Now Fantasy's third base should land, but I don't think Fantasy has an extra. He's starting to bleed out Marines by these defense. And since he doesn't have air to turn it, he's just getting pissed off as well. This is some bad news. And the one base um, difference is really
Showing right now. Okay. Now here comes another poke, but nice seasoning position. Just deny them. So what fantasy needs to do? It's a tricky question because Mars going mech, and mech sets the Terran, the Bio Terran on the side. So fantasy needs to start getting the 3-bit economy and start thinking about expanding while doing what he's doing, which is called harassing. And then he needs to think about starport tech. Okay, but I love what he's doing. So what he's doing is dropping some marines on top of those siege tanks, forcing friendly fire, and making Maru pull the boys. And he took down so many siege tanks and so many boys that I think things are starting to equalize. So one last thing that Fantasy needs to do um is one last thing that he needs to do is he needs to snipe that fourth base right now. Taking his fourth base off his own by okay. So a lot of in the barrel for Fantasy needs to utilize. I love what Fantasy is doing. He's just loading up everything. He's gonna put that arm all around. He's going to land on that natural location. And he's going to start obliterating Terran's infrastructure. And especially with the slow mech army, this is gonna do a good job. But the sensor tower perfect goes down at the perfect timing for Maru. Yeah, but where is that drop? Is that drop gonna commit? Oh no, it's gonna commit. The drop is gonna commit. The Vikings are pulled, trying to deny this, but I think the reaction is a bit too late. Okay, so the Hellions, the Medivacs pulled the Hellions, just gonna drop bio, but this is a bit too much stuff just dropping on the main base of Terran. And is this gonna be enough? I think this is a lot of stuff coming up to Fantasy right now. And also, I love what Fantasy is doing. He's just building on the bio. And he's gonna start to get bases doing economic damage. Forcing an unsiege from the siege tank now. His bio come in and push it on the siege tank. And all over the place, start doing some major economic damage. I think Fantasy did it. I think Fantasy can take this to Game 5 of this Best of 5 series. Beautiful push coming in from Fantasy. Just basically splitting Maru apart. 31 workers lost for Maru, trying his best to do a Hellion drop, but all Fantasy does is run away. And run away. And that's what perfectly fun for him. Oh my god, so many bodies. So, I think we're going to have a game here soon. Next game, as I said, is going to be Kansas City versus. Right, so let me interact. Okay, so so after today, tomorrow we're going to have the playoff. Also play the 7 o'clock. On the top corner we have top. On the bottom right corner we have red. Aaron. We're playing on right. Bigger map. So, standard, very gas, and Trader also controls like Pylon Scout. Pylon Scout gateway gas. Pretty standard local controls. The thing about Pylon Scout is that you can control gas all the time. And sometimes you can really about that's actually really good, especially in high level. Let's see that there's going to be a normal gas, and a chip that is going to be not gas first. And ooh, I actually really like this. Marine first from Ventus. So on this map, Reaper stuff. But the creator is kind of like blank now. He's looking for a music wall. As soon as you see the hell, you can just change straight, change straight into decide to definitely, it actually. Yeah, I don't think fantasy scout is as well. So fantasy rather safe. Okay, so PC is under he's going to go for a and OI. He's gonna go for a full manufacturing stop, or at least try to direct it. While that's going on, he's going to send 3 elements and try to perform them. So of course, other customers see everything forever. So Bandit is going to force to rotate all the cells around. has a pretty solid idea of what's coming. What he's doing is what stuff is coming, and he knows what he's going to respond to. And he just reacts, and here comes the push from Fantasy, but nice reaction coming in from Creator. 4 workers goes down, 6 workers, 7. Okay, 7 worker goes down for that trouble, and a lot of workers have base. Oh no, the medevac goes down, and also there's protecting off. So 7 worker goes down, and all the units are picked off from the fence. And the Creator's getting it. So at this point of time, you can see the Creator is kind of ahead. I don't think Fence is going to do damage. Creator can just corner out all the probes and cover, and also he's gonna get a third base. He can worker count a lot more. So in the long run, Creator is. So what I'm thinking about Fence is that he's either gonna go for a third all the base, or he's gonna go for a two-base all. Yeah, it seems like two-base all is a better option. Because he does that, especially with either expand really quick, either expand right now, or hit a really good timing and take out the Creator third. I really like this move from trying to design a little bit more my timing, trying to slow down the clock. The Creator's on top of the spawning, he's working left and right, shooting down the but instead of he's all over the place. He's having the carrot and already Colossus is being pumped out because the push timing is getting smaller and smaller. Although there's a range from Fantasy, pieces are slightly down. Very honest. I'm very worried for Fantasy right now. And Creator is almost optimized worker count. So at 3 bases, 66 workers are optimized count. So something there as well. Or up to the count. Things happen. There's nothing behind it, and he moves the void. And this is an all-in situation. He cannot lose this Raven, but he loses the Raven, and there's no more answer to the Colossus except for the focus fire of this Leash Tank. And his workers are just gonna melt with the Colossus. Be careful. And Creator decided to come out deep and on this high ground. And nice work to throw down all the fireballs. Fantasy needs to do damage here. And I think he does have enough because there's not no hidden normal lens just yet. Creator defends this. It's taking slowly from this. And Jake, you know what? He's gonna hit the Colossus. So here comes the push. The first off Zealoth going and taking all the shots. Nice focus fire up the Siege Tank, but nice pickup coming in for the Fuses. And these Siege Tanks just not focus down Colossus, and a lot of the fireball is just plummeting. And both of the Colossus survives. Although one is very low health, they both survive. That is the important point. 70 worker goes down, and another Phoenix comes in and lifts up all those tanks do even lift bro, and all the army is starting to get cleaned up from the Fantasy side, and Creator is looking very good, and he is looking forward to close this army. Oh, but nice little reinforcement coming in from Fantasy. He is pumping up units, and he is stop building units. He is all in on this. He needs to kill Creator now, but Creator spawning in more units, keeping those Colossus count very up, pulling back the beat, being in the Colossus, and he is still looking very fun to the Vikings. I can smack down all those Colossus, but there's Phoenix and Lone Phoenix behind the Vikings, and Fantasy forced to pull back, but I don't think Fantasy is on. He's squeezing out like he's never squeezed before, and he's gonna go for his two drop, but he's already ready for it. Yes, he has Colossus on standby, ready to shoot down. But there's a charge for Creator. That's the chicken back. Oh, and the back just gets sniped down. Oh, the army is gonna start. GG is called, and the game is taken by Team Maru. Wow, what a series, ladies and gentlemen. What an absolute series. Very well played by both players. However, at the end, Creator showed his lack of true. Even when all of them, taking off what we're here and there, looking blind face, multi-palm push, and back. No, completely destroyed the fantasies of all of them. Creator takes final match for Team Marvel. And guess what? Guess what? This is because tomorrow we have the semi and next Saturday we have some great teams playing tomorrow as well. And I hope that you guys will come back to me again. We're going to show the schedule here just in a moment. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Anyways, let's break this game down. What happened? So first game, Pure versus DRG. Very well played. So Pure, although he was behind the mid game, beautiful control and with beautiful map control, he beat DRG. And then second game, World of Sleepers against Super. Pure tried to do the same exact thing, but absolutely crushed Pure with an absolute massive. This is going to be the basically the end. Tomorrow we are going to have team two versus Kabak. I think that's the but on Sunday 17th we have the innovation, and then team two wins tomorrow, and on 17th of November, which is Sunday, 1 p.m. we're going to have the grand final. Congratulations, Team Maru, who went to the grand final. And by the way, grand finals is offline. Before that, I have some very, very grand things. So on. So this upcoming week we have Alpha X Ultimate Showdown, NA and EU stuff. We had some great KR Ultimate Showdown. This time we're going to have a very very nice Ultimate Showdown with some NAU. So first of all, we have Astria, Uzarmo, Pocket, Color Bear, Denver, Glenn, Nexar, and Champ. Very clear. So Group A, I think the top row is Group A. Group A will be played Friday 6 p.m. So Group B will be played the day after 6 p.m. Playoff, semifinals, finals. So this was a very good. I think today was a very good series, and I think it was just beautiful. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this, and we're going to see you again tomorrow at 7 p.m. same time for the uh, yeah, for the semi playoff. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys